I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I'm angry on behalf of Magic the Gathering's fans. I feel a little bit like Lord Byron with Greek independence. This doesn't affect me, but it makes me mad nonetheless what's going on. Magic the Gathering is a card game. It's run by Wizards of the Coast, who also runs D&D, and they're both owned by Hasbro. Magic the Gathering for a long time was its own thing. It had its own characters, its own universe, its own everything. Then they started introducing these Universe Beyond packs where different characters from different franchises got to be part of Magic the Gathering, which is just great. You know what we haven't seen? Walking Dead crossover with everything, or Stranger Things, or add a thing I'm a fan of, Doctor Who. I think Magic the Gathering fans are rightly irritated and should feel mad that this is going on. I don't play this game. I don't know enough of the lore to seriously comment on anything, but up to this point, Magic the Gathering had been its own thing with its own characters, its own storylines. The Gathering is literally a year younger than me. People were clearly into it. Now, Marvel is just there. Unique original characters are being pushed out for more franchise stuff. It feels like a trend. Do you remember that Fortnite used to have its own original stories and character? Do you remember that Fortnite wasn't even Fortnite? A zombie survival thing that they just tacked on this battle royale mode, and that became the thing. And it's not like the original game was the most original thing, but it was something. They just ripped off PUBG. This upsets me because this might become the thing all franchises are. And I hate the word franchise, by the way. Let's use what is now, I guess, a pretentious term, art. There will be no original things. Everything will just be an advertisement for another thing. You wonder why Star Wars and Marvel haven't crossed over yet, right? How has that not happened? They're both owned by the mouse. Why isn't this a thing yet? They could easily slot in an American Graffiti while you're at it. There's a running joke that everything in Marvel takes place in New York City. But the reason for that is because the original creators of the Marvel Universe were all from New York City. They created using their own personal lives about New York City. I know this is kind of obscured, but Marvel has its own distinct flavor that makes it stand out, that separates it from something like DC. Thesis statement of Marvel is, boy, you meet some weirdos in New York, don't you? It's almost an urban fantasy in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. That Spider-Man is so associated even with like a distinct neighborhood of New York. As a kid from Queens, and he would change dramatically if he was, say, from like Brooklyn or something. That's a distinct cultural you don't get if you mash Star Wars in. And Star Wars is Star Wars. It's every particularity George Lucas had as a kid mashed into one film. You know, it's epic myth-making fantasy, Dune, Empire, race car stuff. These are distinct I hate that word. I'm not going to use that word. These are distinct pieces of art influenced by their creators. They have personality and character that would be crushed if combined together. It would be okay, but it would start to feel like everything else. And then why doesn't Disney start putting other things into the Marvel universe? Why not make Disney movies canon? Why not everything just be everything and everything be nothing? There's no longer individuality. It's just stuff. This screenshot forever.